Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome to another video. Thanks for tuning in. Special thank you to all my subscribers helping me grow this channel. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 deer glands that you need to know about to pursue deer. Let's go. Hell yeah. So this time of the year, if you're a predator, if you're out hunting these deer, you're a predator and they're prey. So it has always been my opinion that if you're going to be a predator, the most productive thing you can do to make yourself successful is to learn as much about the prey as you possibly can. So I'm going to try to help you explain this stuff to you. That way, as you see it happening, or you hear it referenced, or you hear somebody say they saw this or this was happening, you know exactly what's going on. Alright, so you ever noticed how bucks have, especially during that rut cycle, their forehead gets real red and like brown and real dark? Well, that's because they have a gland in their forehead. So what they're doing is, when they're getting up from their bed or they're leaving their food source, they are rubbing trees. This is mainly out of frustration. This is just one of those, I don't know what to do. They start getting hostile towards each other. The bucks start separating out of the groups about this time of the year. This is mid-October. Their testosterone becomes elevated, so they just have all this frustration that they're trying to get up. So as they're rubbing those trees, going down the line, it's pretty much saying, it's not saying to other deer, hey, meet me here so we can fight, we want to fight it out, meet me here. It's not saying that. It's pretty much saying that I was here, and it's like seeing somebody sign their name in a bathroom stall at a truck stop. I was here. That's all it's saying. Letting people know they was there. Not a big deal. Those are hunting rubs is a waste of time. The next gland is the preorbital gland. This is the gland that is located in the corner of the deer's eyes, right here. I'm sure you've seen video before of the deer when they go to a scrape, they lick the licking branch and then they rub their eyes on it. This is pretty much just another way of saying I was here. It's not saying let's meet here and fight. It's just another way of saying I was here. There's a lot of that goes on in the woods. It's important. There are deer herds and there are groups of deer within those areas, and it's crazy when you look at the facts and understand the glands, how you find out how small of a world it really is, even in their world. Next up are the interdigital glands. The interdigital gland is a gland that is between their front hoof. It sits right in between them. And what it does is when a deer walks, it's leaving its own unique scent through those interdigital glands. And that's how deer can track each other. Forget about the estrus and everything else. Deer can track each other long before estrus is, long before doe goes into the heat. Alright, so that's how they track each other. If you've ever had a spooky doe come in who doesn't really know where you are, but she's just, puts that foot down. First of all, that's a scare tactic that she's using to try to get you to move. To try to get you to jump, show yourself, move just a little bit, because when she does that, she is on extreme high alert and she's watching all around. Even if she's not looking at you, you're here, she's looking over here, she's watching you. Pretty much watching for any movement. But when she's doing that, she's excreting a little bit more of that secretion, that fluid than normal. And it's like it's a creamy paste. The next time you kill a doe or a buck, take your knife, go between their hoof, and just push. And I'm not saying cut into it, but just push right between the toes, and you'll see it. It's like a yellow, milky looking substance. But whenever you get busted and the doe lights you up, she's stomping them feet, well, that's going to give off caution. So I say that if you get blown at, I got blown at several times last time I was hunting. Mainly because I climbed up in my stand and there was just deer all around me. They watched me get in the stand. As the sun rose, they pretty much took turns trying to figure out what it was. So when they blow at you and stomp, it doesn't mean you get out of the stand. You don't have to lose your excitement for the day. You don't have to leave. You don't have to chalk up your day. This is a normal thing, and the interdigital gland produces a scent and a paste that the deer are going to use to track each other and know who's been where. Alright, next up is the highly talked about tarsal glands. So the tarsal glands are on the inside of a buck's leg. The tarsal glands themselves, if you kill a buck early on prior to rut, they don't sting, there's no musk smell, there's nothing like that. But what happens is over time, as a buck's peeing on himself, that urine gets stuck in that gland, and that's what is going to over time deteriorate and form that bucky smell that we know. If you've hunted a lot, if you're an experienced hunter and you've been out there a lot during the rut and you can just smell a buck, sometimes you can go to an area and just say, yeah, there's definitely been a buck here, or this is a bucky area. Well, that's why. So in those tarsal glands, they're very dominant. So when a buck goes to a scrape, he's going to put his back legs in the scrape and he's going to pee down them tarsal glands. It's way more potent than just him urinating in a scrape, and it's going to really establish who he is, his dominance level, and everything else, how old he is. You know, like I said, most of this stuff is all tied in with knowing who's who, because the deer don't have cell phones. They're doing all this out of sight, and they communicate through their glands, through their scents, and things of that nature. So if you have the luxury of killing a buck who has hot tarsal glands, you know, they're brown and dark brown and stinky, if you can cut those off, just make a circle around the tarsal gland. Don't bust the gland. Just make a circle around it. Make sure you wear gloves, because there is bacteria present of urine over the last several weeks that's got bacteria on it. They could be harmful to you. Could make you sick. Could make you throw up. Cut the glands off. I've got 4 or 5 in my freezer from previous years. But what you're going to want to do is that tarsal gland represents that buck. That is his smell. All the deer in the area, if they're from the area, if they live there, they know this buck. So you could hang that up. I mean, there's definitely competitors. So you could hang, just put a string through the tarsal gland, tie it up near you while you're hunting. And any local buck or any buck around, if he smells it, he should come in right to you and want to fight. And when he comes in, it's not going to be like spraying doe estrus, where he comes in, tunnel vision, no thought in life. That he's going to come in aggressive. He's going to come in wanting to fight, as that scent and that tarsal gland is directly going to represent another buck. Last but not least, and probably the most important gland of all, is the penal gland. Yes, I said the penal gland. Alright, so the penal gland is a gland inside the animal's brain, inside of a deer's brain, that both males and females possess this gland. And what it does is it's going to promote antler growth, and it's a gland that senses daylight, getting less hours in the day. Like it measures daylight through what the animal sees, and as the days get shorter, this gland is going to start producing more estrogen in the females, more testosterone in the males. So this gland directly correlates to what we know as the rut. I've heard lots and lots of rumors, or legends, if you will, you know, that the rut starts the second full moon of the fall equinox, or now let's be honest, a cold snap does never hurt hunting. That's what you want. Cold snap gets them up, gets them frisky. But the day is getting shorter, and that's what starts this whole process. Is that October range, as the days start getting shorter, like 1 minute every day. The days get shorter, that gland starts producing. And when that gland starts producing, the bucks start getting pissed off at each other. They start breaking free from their bachelor groups. The females start getting ready to push their fawns on as their spots leave them. This gland is the most important of all of this. As this gland starts producing, the days get shorter and shorter. That is what ramps the animals up to start the rut. Now, I could talk about the rut for days and days and days, but I'm going to focus on the glands. So the penal gland in an animal's head that senses the hours of sunlight in a day that are going to put the animals into a reproductive cycle, both males and females. So it's going to cause the buck's testosterone to build up. It's going to cause him to start fighting with every other buck. It's going to cause him to start making those rubs from the stress. It's going to make him start making those little scrapes everywhere. And it's going to ultimately let him know that it's time to breed. Period. Same way for does. You know, it's an involuntary thing. This gland is going to put them into reproductive cycle without them even being made aware of it. Alright. So a couple fun facts for you. I figured I'd just go ahead and throw this in here on this video. So does come into an estrus cycle every 28 days. As long as the days are shorter and the penal gland is hitting putting out the optimum excretion based on the daylight hours, then a doe is going to come into her estrus cycle every 28 days. Alright, so the last fun fact. The penal gland is also directly responsible for antler growth. And the crazy thing about that is, did you know that a buck is not fertile, therefore cannot breed until his antlers are hardened? Fun fact, huh? Yeah. So bucks are 100% unable to breed, unable to make more until the velvet's gone and their antlers have gotten hardened. Period. Just a fun fact for you. Alright guys, well, I hope this made sense to you. I know I went through it kind of fast. You got the forehead gland, the preorbital gland, interdigital glands, the tarsal glands, and the penal glands. All this was to help you try to understand what is going on in the woods when you see these things. When you see a scrape, when you see a scrape or a rub, you know why that happened. Now, like when you think of the rut, look at your calendar. Look at your phone. It shows you the sunset times and sunrise times every day. And as you go through every day, you're subtracting a minute off of every day. Watch that. You can use these facts to learn more about the woods, what's going on around you, help you be a better predator, and help you be more successful. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. This is the kind of stuff that, I've studied and known for years. I tell my friends about it, and they're like, "Why the hell do you know that shit?" Well, it's because I want to be an effective predator. That's why. I want to be successful. And knowledge doesn't necessarily make you successful, but it don't hurt. It don't never hurt. All right? Well, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.